AltFunds Global presents Unlock Hidden Wealth, how to monetize nickel wire, bonds, and SKRs like a pro.
So you're a business owner and you've come across an exciting asset like an SKR, safekeeping receipt, or bonds, or nickel wire, some kind of exciting asset you've come across. You're looking for a way to monetize it, leverage it with a legitimate bank and get cash out of it. Oftentimes, joker brokers introduce a concept called PPPO trade. We're going to take your SKR or your bond or whatever this nonsense asset is, and we're going to put it into another nonsense thing called PPP, and you're going to get really rich. In this video, I'm going to tell you what all legitimate banks are looking for so that they can monetize your assets, whether it's an SKR, nickel wire, whatever it is, and put it into what you call trade. You've got to watch this video.
All of the information presented is for entertainment and information purposes only. Nothing discussed constitutes legal or accounting advice, an offer or solicitation of financial services, or financial advice of any kind. Our goal is to showcase alternative vehicles to raise capital. At no point will we be soliciting any investment programs.
Hi, Stammers. I'm from AltFunds Global. My organization works with client investors that are members of our organization and helps them leverage their assets, their cash, stamp matters, and so on to access capital the banks are primarily offering their VIP clients. We can do this because of the volume of transaction we give to banks, because of our relationships with banks, as well as our experience and expertise in structured financing. So friends, Mark is a client of ours. He's been a member for a long time. We've helped Mark on a number of different initiatives, things like that. And Mark recently came across SKR, a safekeeping receipt, as well as some nickel wire. And he's one of those capital-intensive businesses that's consistently looking for capital, and came to us and said, hey, AFG, can you support us with some proven strategies and how we can monetize these forms of assets, get the cash out that we need for project financing? Awesome. We within AFG, first of all, have over 1,000 brokers. And when a broker comes to me with a file like that, the first question I ask the broker is, if the asset is real, why is the client not going to their own bank? The asset is real, you said it's real, why is the client not going to their own bank? The second question I ask the broker is, if the file is real, why are you, the broker, not going to your own bank and deposit the asset with your own bank? Why aren't you not doing that? The truth is, if you talk to 10,000 bank CEOs, every bank CEO that I know of will tell you, the more assets I have in my bank, the more cash I can get. The more assets I have in my bank, the more cash I can get. That's the truth. Every bank CEO, if they can get $2 billion asset, $200 million asset, whatever these assets are and the valuations that are nonsense and ridiculous, every bank CEO will tell you that if this asset is legit, I can put it in my bank and I can give you a loan or whatever it is that you want out of it for sure. So that's the first question I usually ask the brokers that work with us. If this is real, why is the client not going to their own bank? And if this is real, why is you, the broker that you've been approached to, why are you not going to your bank and putting it in? One common answer I get, and this is a wrong answer, to give me, is because we have a relationship with the client. That's what I call the bullshit answer. The example I can give you is my mother. The second that I was born in this world, I started a relationship with my mother. I was born for my mother. I don't go to my mother when it comes to banking, structured financing programs. Like, why would I? And so when a broker says the client came to us because they have a relationship with us, excuse my language, that's the most bullshit answer I've ever heard in my life. If the asset is real, why are you not going to your own bank? Now, if the client has all the right answers to give, which obviously I don't disclose the right answers here, and I go to my banks, one of the banks that we have a relationship with, here's the paperwork that any bank would have to see, and the client's responsibility, you the client, it's your job, it's your responsibility to think like a bank CEO, not the broker, not the joker brokers, We're not one of AFG's educated brokers, but it's your job as a client to know what are the questions every bank CEO would ask. You said the assets were $2 billion? No problem. Prove to me the assets were $2 billion. You prove to me the assets were $2 billion. And if you proving to me the assets were $2 billion is because your next door neighbor wrote an appraisal, or your, your brother-in-law is an appraiser and they wrote an appraisal paper, that just doesn't cut it. You need to go to a reputable appraiser, preferably appraiser that the banks use, and get a third-party appraisal that should be a recent appraiser. That's the first thing you need to do. Have an asset, prove to me the asset's real. If it's real estate, here's the documents that, here's the address of the land, here's the address that, here's the government paper that shows this real estate is real. Here's the appraiser that the real estate is real. Like things that you have to prove to me the asset's real, what the evaluation of the asset is, and it should be a third-party person doing that. Next thing I want is your KYC and your CIS, your customer information sheet, your client form, and for AFG, it has to be our paperwork that counts. And I want to know, if I tell you my name is Tamer Zaman, I better have a passport that shows my name is Tamer Zaman, as an example. I need to show KYC or CIS that my name is Tamer Zaman. My company information. What is my credit score? What's my company's credit score? These are some of the things that any financial institution will want to see. Great. Now you want to monetize that, awesome. And then if the joker broker tells you there's some kind of thing called PPP or trade, you're going to monetize your nickel wire and put it into trade, great. I would never go to a bank CEO, and please check out our YouTube video and look at the number of bank CEOs we have a relationship with, and so I want to monetize this thing and put it into this thing called trade. That's not the right language. The right language is, I want to open up a bank account with you, Mr. Client, Mr. Bank. I need projects that require funding. Here's my business plan. Upon the bank opening of the bank account and you provide projects, you say, here's the asset I have, nickel wire, bond, SKR, whatever it is. Can you leverage my asset to give me funding that I need? That's a different professional banking language to talk to a bank about what joker broker is called, or we're going to monetize and put into trade. That's not the right language to talk to any banker. Can I open up a bank account with you, sir? Do I need to put money and open up a bank account? Sure, I'll do that. Upon opening up a bank account, here's the project that I require funding for because banks fund projects. Here's my KYC, here's my CS, here's the asset that I'd like you to leverage. And leverage my asset, leverage the value of my asset to give me structured financing. Now, how you put it into what's called PPP or trade is this. You say, I'm looking for limited recourse loan. The other term out there is called non-recourse loan. So you say, I'm looking for project funding. I'm hoping, wishing that you give me a non-recourse loan, limited recourse loan by leveraging my assets. As a banker, I need to get third-party appraisal on what's the value of the asset, and the appraisal should be real. As a banker, I need to see your KYC, your CIS. As a banker, I need to see a business plan that I understand. A 7-year-old kid could understand what this business plan is, and then I can put together all the things I need to. That's the paperwork you need to put forward. Next thing you need to do with any financial institution that asks you to become a client of the financial institution. Any financial institution does that allows. If you need support in this, feel free to reach out to AltFunds Global. Happy to help you out. Happy to support you step by step in doing this. We have an advisory service, a white glove service where we can do this. If you are a dealer broker and you've got a lot of clients, we offer a white label service that we can support you in this as well. Really happy to help you out. Thank you so much.
Would you like to know about our next event?
Why would you attend AltFunds Global's banking events?
Unlock exclusive financing secrets with top bank CEOs and family offices. Build powerful connections, secure loans beyond retail banks, and fund your legacy. Join financial leaders at AltFunds Global offshore events.
I didn't know what to expect. Stephen invited me a week and a half ago. And I said, because he had told me a little bit about the structure. And what I've learned is it was a fire hose, but you guys have cut the noise. You've given us a path. And the one thing I truly appreciate is every time you're so you validate it, you're you don't just say it to you, trust you. You're And Carlos, is that right? And Sam, is that right? Because you're appreciating our questions in our mind. And because it's 95% scammers out there, we've all ran into them, we've spent money on them. And instead of being offended, you actually, ease that in us while educating us. And what it's going to do for my business, it's going to explode.
Hi friends, I now want to take a minute and answer some of your frequently asked questions. One of the common questions I get a lot is, Timur, we've learned a lot from you through your YouTube channel. How do we learn more? Can we fly down and meet your team? And the answer to all of that is yes, yes, and yes. But if you want to learn more, my first invitation is to become a member of AltFunds Global. You simply go to our website, altfundsglobal.com. You sign up to become a member for free. You get access to webinars, offshore events that we do, and content that we never, ever, ever, ever publish on YouTube. I promise you that it's worth becoming a member for sure. The second way that you can learn a lot is I'm a published author. Structured Financing, Demystified, Hypergrowth, just multiple books on Amazon that you can get access to. I highly recommend going and checking out some of these books, getting engaged into some of the stuff, that strategies and tactics that we're using for ourselves, for our families, for our friends. You definitely want to check these things out for sure. Another question, I guess, Timo, why are you so passionate about getting a bank license? Why is that so important? Well, the truth is, our mission within AltFunds Global is to help businesses become self-funded for life. Imagine you run a coffee shop and I run a coffee shop. Imagine we buy the coffee beans from the same grower and my coffee shop is right across yours, like really right across yours. Our competition is probably nil. But if you have a bank license and I don't have a bank license, and let's say I made $500,000 and you made $500,000 in income, but if you have a bank license, you are depositing a bank license with a central bank of the country where you own your own private bank license. Let me repeat this again. You are depositing your money with the central bank of the country you have your bank license on. So $500,000 deposited with the central bank should give you a line of credit of 10 times multiple. So that means you get a line of credit of $5 million. Now it's not free money, it's a line of credit of $5 million. Now, if you draw that entire money out and you go to whichever country you're currently resonating in, the country you're doing business with, and in real estate, you want to buy a house, you put 20% down and you get a loan for 80%, same thing. You put $5 million down with a business plan to your local bank, whoever your bank with, and say, hey, I want to grow my business, my technology business, real estate business, pharmaceutical business, whatever business it is. I'm a venture capitalist. I'm putting $5 million down. Your bank gives you a loan at four times more, so now you get a $20 million loan. Now it's not free money, it's $20 million loan. What can you afford to do with $20 million that I cannot afford to do with $500,000? Could you invest in artificial intelligence? Could you invest in hiring better people? Could you invest in advertising? Hell, with that amount of money, could you even buy auxiliary businesses or invest in auxiliary businesses? I say you can, and that's why we within AltFunds Global are so passionate in helping clients become self-funded for life, and getting a private bank license is one of the vehicles that I am personally very passionate about helping clients on. Another question, I guess, Timur, you charge a consultation fee. AltFunds Global, the team charges a consultation fee. Why do you charge a consultation fee when you guys can make so much money on the back end? It somehow slows me down from taking a credit card and paying you money for it. Well, here's the truth. We offer our content, millions and millions of dollars worth of content complete for free on YouTube. We don't advertise as of the date of doing this video. We don't advertise on YouTube, Google, or we don't do any kind of advertising at all. And what we find is the volume of traffic that goes into YouTube attracts people that are tire kickers, people that are fraudsters, people that have mental health issues. When we charge a small consultation fee, this deters the hacker, the fraudster, the person who's shopping around, the tire kicker. It eliminates all that and allows me and my team to be on calls or meetings with customers we actually want to do business with. What a concept. Now this is better. At the time of doing a transaction with a client, that fee they pay for a consultation call, we refund it. At the conclusion of us doing a transaction with the client, we refund 100% of all the monies that they paid on consultation fees. This allows us to work with people that are committed to working with us, are serious about working with us, are not tire kickers, are not people that are like, they don't know what banking 101 is, and they're there to waste our time and energy. Just eliminates that. And me and my team are very proud of doing that. Next question I get is, Taimur, the alternative funding industry overall has a lot of fraudsters in it, has a lot of deep fake in it. What are you doing to protect us, protect yourself? So here's the answer to that. Any industry that has a lot of money by default attracts a lot of fraud. Let me say this again. Any industry that attracts a lot of money by default attracts a lot of fraud. I don't know who you bank with. If you bank with one of the top 20 banks in the world, pick a bank you bank with, or you use payment processing companies like PayPal, these companies see a lot of fraud every day, from fraudsters mimicking their website to mimicking their email addresses, and in cases like mine, once a year or twice a year, some idiot, excuse my language, decides to copy my picture on social media, tries to create a fake profile of me, and goes on social media selling scammy transactions. Now, we have the technology and the resources to catch that, usually within 72 hours of that happening, and then cause legal action against that fraudster. We have the financial resources, thank God, to do that today, but that's just the nature of this industry. So what we do to protect ourselves is we never solicit on social media anything, nor do we solicit in general. We offer a lot of educational materials, but we don't solicit. You'll never see me or any of my associates on any social media trying to sell anything, ever. Second, all transactions that we do, money always has to go through a reputable law firm. All transactions we do, money always has to go to a reputable law firm. You know, we never ask the client to send us money or anything like that. Now, I do want to take a minute and talk a little bit about my competitors. In the United States, in the US alone, US has 3% of the world's population, and they have over 60% of the world's lawyers. In the United States, that's a fact, have 3% of the world's population and over 60% of the world's lawyers. I have a lot of legitimate competitors in the United States and around the world that unfortunately have been sued for wrongful things that other people have done. There's a lot of negative stuff on social media or websites about some of my legitimate competitors. And I want to tell you that a lot of my competitors are legitimate, they're hardworking people. I know them, they deliver real results. And unfortunately, they have negative comments or fraud or even lawsuits against them. The reason within AltFunds Global doesn't have a lawsuit against it, or me, Taimur Zaman, don't have a lawsuit against me, or people on social media saying that we're fraudsters or something like that, is simply because of my lack of vision. Every company you deal with, every major company you deal with, whether it's the cars you drive, Ford, Lexus, I don't know, GM, or Facebook, Google, YouTube, whatever you use, or medicine you have, like Tylenol, all of these companies have lawsuits against them. A lot of the companies you work with have litigations against them. It's just part of the growth. At some point, the business needs to grow exponentially, and that's when you have to see lawsuits as just the nature of the business growing. The fact that we don't have it is because of my lack of vision as the CEO and like trying to bark a tree like that. Now, I see that changing as we buy businesses that have other CEOs, as we grow. We have over 800 registered brokers with us. As that number grows, it's not normal for our business to continue growing without some idiot calling us fraudster, some idiot trying to sue us, or something like that. If you want to take advantage of the alternative funding industry, I'm going to tell you this is the industry I love. I'm going to tell you this is the industry that I've made a lot of money with. I'm going to tell you this is the industry I've helped a lot of clients make a lot of money with, friends and family make a lot of money with. And if this is an industry you want to get involved in, I recommend meeting the people you want to do business with, like physically flying out to meeting them. If you can afford to hire an investigator, we use a lot of former FBI, former CIA people. These are people you can hire to do background checks. It's not only do these people have lawsuits or not, or other losers calling them fraudsters or not. I'm telling you, a lot of my competitors are really good people, and they're not fraudsters. So like, do your own due diligence, listen to your intuition. We're really interested in working with some really good people that are vision-driven entrepreneurs that really want to serve the world. And I think we have some things that are really amazing to offer. Another question I get is, Taimur, we love all the services of AltFunds Global. What are the top 3 services you offer that we should really seriously think about, call you or your organization and get you guys involved? But my favorite service, the one that makes a lot of sense, is the trusted advisory service. This is when we become your chief banking officer. We work with your CFO, your legal team, the CEO, the COO. We look at where your organization is, where you want it to be. We look at banking programs that make sense for your type of business, that are proven and would work to generate access to alternative revenue sources for your business that makes sense. From that, we then create offshore tax structures, offshore bank accounts, offshore bank licenses for your organization, so the revenue that gets generated has a channel to go to that is well protected. We have a lot of domain expertise that I do not share ever on YouTube. It's not like a lawyer who's like, go create a trust account and cooks out in. Like we don't do. We do some very sophisticated stuff that I'm very proud of. That's our intellectual property. And so the trusted advisory services, where we become a trusted advisor, is one of the things that I would recommend everybody to look at. It's a monthly retainer, you pay for it, but let me tell you, for every penny you put in, that you get tens of dollars out of it. And I think you're not going to get this amount of expertise dedicated to your business. So that's something I would recommend you to think about and sign up for. Second one is, if you're looking for access to capital, we have a lot of unique programs like Rent a Rich Uncle that we can support your organization, as long as your organization is a successful business and not a startup, not somebody who's going bankrupt. It's a successful business that has real cash, real assets, and is generating something real, that's real growth. I think we have some avenues for accessing capital that others simply cannot offer. And the final one that I love is we have a lot of asset management structures that are very unique to our intellectual property that I love to share with you. If you have assets, you want to grow, you want to get bank license, you want to set up a trust, you want to work with multiple central banks, do some really cool stuff. I think I'm the only weirdest person that has real expertise and experience in doing this stuff. And so my name is Taimur, I'm from AltFunds Global. Thank you for following us up on YouTube. If you're doing that, thank you for trusting me. Thank you for trusting my team. And on behalf of my team, I just really want to say thank you. And we look forward to the opportunity of serving you.